Welcome to Prime Testimony Channel. There is this thing we call Nyansa. Nyansa means home wisdom. It's a kind of wisdom that your school may never teach you. We go to school to acquire knowledge, but there are certain basic traditional wisdom that you will get it from your parents, you get it from the environment in which you grow, and you get them from your siblings. Let me give you an example. Your father or your mother, may ask you to clear the table or to pick, the plates that have been used and take them to the kitchen. That is the instruction that was given you. But home wisdom should teach you that once you take it to the kitchen, you must go and wash them. It is normal for you to say thank you to somebody who does something for you. For example, you go and spend holiday with an auntie or an uncle, and you go and spend some vacation with them. It is normal to say thank you when you are departing. But it is home wisdom that will tell you that after you have arrived at your parents' place after the vacation, you have to pick a phone and call them or write a letter to say thank you, so that you express your heartfelt gratitude. It is home wisdom that will tell you that somebody who has done something good or something positive for you, from time to time, you have to acknowledge the good thing that person did for you. So when we are talking about home wisdom, that is what it means. Home wisdom will tell you how to dress when you are going for a job interview, or how to behave when you meet elders and you have to greet them. If you are not taught some of these things at home, usually there's this a kind of expression is also abofre wantetin or akwadai yantetin wufi. It means that you were not given good training. There are so many things. I remember a couple of years back, our parents were communicating with us with the eyes. For example, your parents get visitors, and once the visitors are seated, or even before they get seated, your parents will look at you. Your parents will look at your face, and without saying anything, home wisdom must communicate to you that they have visitors, so you have to excuse them. I can continue giving a lot of examples. You see, the Bible tells us that we should train up children the way they should grow, and when they grow, they will not depart from it. The children by themselves may not be able to acquire this, but unless you teach them, unless by your words and your action you teach them. But gradually, this home wisdom is fading away. Sometimes it's a bit disturbing, because as Africans, what we knew was that you do not argue with your parents in front of visitors. You wait when they go, then you go to your daddy or your mommy, and then you go and try and explain your point. But for some time now, sometimes you will see that even in front of visitors, your kids or children may be arguing with you. We know that culture is dynamic, and we know that we are in computer age, and then the children that are being brought forth now, the way they go about things is a little different. But I'm sure families who have consciously taken time to inculcate some of these home wisdom in their children, I'm sure they exhibit them. Why do we have this challenge? One of the main reasons is that these days, the kind of work that we do not allow us to even stay home to take proper care for our families. Especially when you are living in the city, you get up very early in the morning, you drive, you go and join the traffic, You drive to work, you get to office already exhausted, you finish, you drive back home. Sometimes some get back home in a city as late as 8 o'clock, as 9 o'clock. By the time you come, your kids may be asleep. The only time that sometimes they have opportunity to interact with you will be on weekends. And there are a lot of social, social engagement like funerals, naming ceremony, family meetings, and all these things. So there are some there are some parents that even on Saturdays, they will not stay at home. Sunday, they may go to church. When they come from church, some of them may be engaged in other things. If we are not careful, our children will grow, but they will not become our friends. A parent from Ghana, have you sat down and thought about the fact that the only time your child can stay with you throughout the year will be up to junior secondary school from 3, that's the age of about 15 years. From age 15, it is likely that for the rest of the years of the child's life, she'll be staying away from you most of the time. Take this example. As soon as the child leaves the junior secondary school and goes to the boarding house at age 15, sometimes some of them go earlier than that. Once he goes to the boarding, school, he comes home for a short time and goes back to school. And by the time the boy or the girl will get to Form 3 at age 17, 18, he will be applying to continue his education. He also moves from home, goes to school. Right after that, he's going to do national service or youth service. So by the time he will finish, then he will finish the national service or youth service, then he's already 23, because by 21, 22, the child or the young man or the young woman would have finished school. So it means that if you don't bond with your children whilst they are very young in their formative years, your children will grow. They will see you as a responsible parent, but they will not be your friends. And for that reason, whatever challenge they have, whatever confusion they have, whatever problem that they have, they will rather go and discuss with their friends. That is where they will get some kind of advice that will not be very beneficial for their growth. So I will encourage parents that you will not get a time, but we have to create a time as parents for our children, so that our children will be able to bond with us. Children need to be given home training, home wisdom. You may be having a house help, but remember that young lady or the young girl, I'm talking about your own daughter, he or she is growing, and she will definitely leave home. And when she leaves home and then goes to marry a fancy, and I prefer say, it means that the kind of training that the mother gives the daughter is the one she will carry on, during marriage. Of course, we know that it's only mother that train, girls. Similarly for the boys as well. So home wisdom should be inculcated into that child of yours. That are set by certain age, there are certain basic things that he or she must know how to do it. And because people do not actually spend time, to, inculcate these into their children, that is the reason why home wisdom is seen to be missing among our children. Sometimes when you see the way younger people speak to adults, it doesn't depict the original true African, principles that we upheld in times past. All because parents are so busy. So they are not able to inculcate that home wisdom. Some people sometimes laugh at Ghanaians why they say please. They put please in front of sentences. That's our culture. People have their culture, we also have ours. But a lot of children do not these days even bother about this please thing. Please, 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 that we use as a way of courteous expression. Friends, family members, parents, home wisdom is very, very important. So apart from the certificates, apart from the education that we provide our children, we must provide them with home wisdom. Otherwise, if the child becomes a pastor, if a child becomes a lecturer, if if a child becomes any other person in society, he or she usually, encounters a lot of problems. You may be a minister of state and people may be going on strike. Already, they are already angry. If you don't have home wisdom, sometimes you may go and say something even to infuriate the people who are already on strike. We need to apply home wisdom everywhere, in our parliament, in our homes, wherever we are. So friends, parents, we must look for that thing that made us unique as Africans. Home wisdom is very important. This is Prime Testimony Channel. Subscribe to my channel. Feel free to make comments and comment what you think about the subject of home wisdom. My name is Ato Brentishan. Until we meet in another video, I'm saying bye-bye.